Good morning. I am at a busy roadside rest area east of Portland, Oregon. I wanted to show you the tallest waterfall in Oregon. So this is the famous Multnomah Falls, 640 feet tall. This is the waterfall that you see in pictures that has a bridge over the base of it. And then the waterfall kind of continues below the bridge. It's one of the most famous sites in Oregon, I would say. Also, something really fun just happened. I was sitting in my car going over the footage that I just shot out here, and I heard a knock on my windshield, and it was this guy. This is Tim from Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's a SUV RVing subscriber. He watches my videos. That's right. He recognized me as I was sitting in the car looking at the footage on my camera, so it's really fun. Thanks, man.
It is.
He's out here for the summer.
Yep, for the summer.
To do adventuring.
Doing some union work out here. Okay. Union carpenter.
So Tim is traveling around with his truck and a trailer and his Harley in the back of his trailer here. But he also built a bunk in the back so he can just pull over at rest stops and sleep in the bunk for the night. That's what he did last night, just at a rest stop. Let's give you a really quick tour here.
Been watching videos on people traveling around and living in their trailers and in their trucks and enjoying the outdoors. So I decided to do it myself. Got my truck set up with my trailer, my Harley in the back. I made myself a bunk out of aluminum ramps, a couple of coolers here, a futon mattress with all my clothes and milk crates underneath there. Got the Harley strapped down, a few other amenities, guitars and an amp or so, and just going from there. Now I'm trying to find a way to make my life better, and watching all these videos of seeing people actually enjoying life instead of wasting their life in a dead-end job, I decided to join them. And lo and behold, I drove all this way, came in to see this waterfall. And then I see Tristan, that he does his own videos and blogs. I've been watching him for months. I recognized him right out of the gate, knocked on his door, and here we are. I wanna join you guys out here and enjoy myself. Now, of course, you can see I got my nice bagger here. I got, I had to fold my antenna in, but it's all loaded down with my rain gear and jackets and stuff. A little dusty from the trip. Of course, you got extra coolers. Got my grill. Can't go nowhere without my bicycle. And I plan on enjoying myself. I camp wherever I can and enjoy as much as I can. What a beautiful thing this is going to be this summer.
Well, that was fun. It's always great to meet you guys when I'm out on the road. It's always fun to meet up with subscribers. Welcome to Multnomah Falls, our nation's second highest year-round waterfall. About half an hour up the road now, and I am in Portland. I've been to Portland several times before. I don't know if I've ever featured it in a video before, but one thing that I always like to do when I come to a city is, if possible, get a good view of the city, whether that be from a hill or a building or a tower or whatever. So that's what I've come to this little park to do. This is called Rocky Butte. It's a park on top of an old cinder cone. So this cinder cone volcano is called Rocky Butte. Beautiful views of the city and of the mountains from here. Here's the park itself that's on top. There's an old airway navigation beacon. Still here, not used anymore. Then over here is Mount St. Helens in Washington. Still got a ton of snow on it. Spring is the best time to see these Cascade volcanoes because of all that snow. They're just beautiful big white cones. And then over here is Mount Adams in Washington. A little bit hazy today, but still a nice day out here. And then the view to the west here is obscured a little bit by trees, but this is where we're going next, out toward central Portland, downtown Portland. Over this way. I don't go to cities too often on this channel, or at least I don't show you cities too often. And you might think that that's because I don't like cities, and that's not entirely true. I actually love cities. I love big, giant, hectic, densely populated cities, like intensely urban cities. And cities in America, especially in the West, tend to not be that. But like, I lived in Beijing, China for 2.5 years when I was a kid. I've spent 2 or 3 months in Mexico City. I spent 3 months in Bangkok, Thailand. You know, I've been to Moscow, I've been to Delhi and Mumbai and Singapore. Like, I love big cities, you know, like really big, millions and millions of people cities that are densely populated. And then obviously I like being on my own in the middle of nowhere. And when it's in between there, that's when it gets a little bit uninteresting to me. I like Portland. I don't love Portland. It doesn't interest me too much. Portland is perfectly fine. I'm sure it's a nice place if you live here. It just doesn't interest me a ton as far as a place I want to spend the time visiting and making tons of videos about. But every time I pass through a place like this, I like to see a couple more things. You know, I don't want to spend days here exploring, but seeing 1 or 2 extra things that I've never seen before, that's the kind of thing I like to do. And so on that note, while we're passing through Portland, let's go see and do a few things that I've never done before. One super touristy thing, very Portland thing that I haven't done before is to get donuts from Voodoo Donut, so that's what we're doing here. This location here is not the main or the original Voodoo Donut location. I tried to go into that one on my first visit to Portland, probably like 10 years ago, and there was a line way out the door and around the building, so I thought, you know what, that's not for me. This one, there's no line. I was the only person in there, and I got 3 different donuts to try. Let me show these to you here. So this one is called Ring of Fire. There's a chili pepper in there. I assume it's spicy, I don't know. This one is Mango Tango. I've never seen a donut with mango filling in it, so I decided to get one of those. And likewise, I've never seen a spicy donut before. Then got your classic here, maple bacon. Maple bars are my favorite donut, and I don't think I've ever actually had one with bacon on it, even though that's a pretty popular thing to do. You don't need to see me try to stuff these in my mouth, so I'm not gonna like show you graphic footage of me eating them or anything like that. And I'm not going to eat them all, obviously, at once. Probably not even all today. I mean, there's a lot of donut mass here. I mean, there's a lot of carbs in this box here, carbs and sugar. So I might have to stretch these into tomorrow. I'll at least try them all today, and throughout the day, I'll give you my updates, my thoughts about each one. And then our next destination is right here in the middle of this intersection. That right there is the world's smallest park. Yep, it's called Mill Ends Park. The park is a whopping 24 inches in diameter. Sometimes it has trees, sometimes it has other little trinkets. Now it has a couple of flowers that have seen better days. And believe it or not, that park actually is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's smallest park. I think more interesting than the park itself is the story behind the park. So what is that park now, that round cement thing? That was where a utility pole of some sort was supposed to go, but they never ended up putting anything there. A journalist worked in the building next to it, and he overlooked that intersection, and he could see it every day, so he decided to plant some seeds in there, grew some flowers in there, and then over the years it just developed into a little park, and it was recognized officially by the city of Portland as a city park, so yeah, it's kind of fun. Back behind me here, this is the Willamette River. This is the main river in this part of Oregon. Portland is basically where the Columbia River meets the Willamette River, and the Willamette Valley that the river flows through, it runs north to south, and Portland is basically at the northern end of the valley. That is the valley that everyone was trying to get to when they were traveling the Oregon Trail. The destination was the Willamette Valley, and this behind me is the Willamette River. Here's the river, here's the Willamette River. There's a nice park system and trails, bike paths along the side of it here. Portland isn't exactly on the Columbia River, it's a handful of miles downstream that way, but it's close to the confluence of the two rivers. And then there's one last spot I wanted to come visit on my trip to Portland here, and I'm there now. This is called Cathedral Park. So this is a bridge crossing the river, and there's a park underneath this end of it, called Cathedral Bridge because of the Gothic arches that hold up the ends of the bridge here. Really strikingly beautiful spot. I think Cathedral Park is a good name for it. It's been a fun, quick visit to Portland. Gonna get back on the road now, head toward Olympia in Washington, and there's something along the way that I've been wanting to see for a while that I'm gonna stop and see. I'm now at a place called Mima Mounds, and this is a strange place. There are just all these mounds, they're all about the same size, scattered throughout this clearing in the forest here. Looks like we can climb up onto the deck over here to get a little bit more of an elevated view. Let's go up there. Wow, that is so strange. I've never seen anything like this. The mounds are all about the same size, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet high, 20 feet across. That is bizarre. There's a 1.9 mile hike through the mounds here, and that's what I'm doing now. I thought it was about a good time to stretch my legs a little bit. And the interesting thing about this place is that no one knows exactly how these mounds were made. There are a lot of theories. Early people to the area thought that Native Americans had made them, but I think that's generally proven to not have been the case. They don't know if it was from glaciers or water or wind or earthquakes. No one knows exactly how or why these things are here. And this spot here is called Mima Mounds Natural Area Preserve. I think that's what it's called. But these formations in general, even in other places, are called Mima Mounds. This is the type site for this kind of formation. The issue is that not all Mima Mounds in all areas appear to be composed of the same materials, and they don't appear to have been made the same way, and so that adds to the confusion over what these things are. But really interesting. I've known about these for years actually, and have only just now gotten around to visiting. And oh, and another fun theory is that ancient gophers built these mounds, so I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. This was an interesting stop. I'm glad I came here. I'm almost done with the 2 mile long loop. I'm not sure the 2 mile loop was necessary. There are a couple of shorter loops, and I think you could probably just do those and get the same effect. I mean, the scenery doesn't change. It's this the entire way, so if you've gotten your fill of it on one of the shorter hikes, I don't think you really need to do the longer one. Gonna get back into the car, drive about 15 minutes to our next to last spot for the day. So I'm in a city called Tumwater, and this is Tum Water Falls. There's this one, and then you can see part of the other one on the other side. Let's go over to the bridge and get a view of both of them. Perfectly nice little park, pretty little waterfalls, but I mean, I just saw Multnomah Falls this morning, so it's kind of a tough comparison, you know? And before I forget, let me give you a review of the donuts from earlier today too. So the spicy one was just so only slightly spicy. I mean, if you hadn't told me that it was a spicy donut, I wouldn't have known. Like, it was just so subtle. And then the mango one was delicious. That was my favorite one. I really loved that. I don't think I've ever had a mango donut before, and so that was just absolutely delicious. And then the other one, the maple bacon one. Now this might actually be a controversial opinion. So I love maple donuts. I love bacon. Bacon is great. I don't feel like it was better to have both of them together. I would have rather just had a maple bar and some bacon. I don't think I ever need to have another maple bacon donut. Well, I have some bad news, but first let's take a look at this beautiful campsite here. There's a pretty little creek over here. Another pretty little creek right here. Hi, it's me, recording this after getting back from the trip. So the bad news that I referred to was that I thought I had deleted all of the footage from that trip. I meant to just delete one clip on my camera. Turns out I had deleted everything on that SD card accidentally. So I was pretty angry, and I didn't really film a proper ending to that video because I didn't think there would be a video to end with. And so I set that SD card aside, I put a new SD card into the camera, and I kept recording for another couple days of that trip. When I got home, I did some research and figured out that there was data recovery software to help you recover accidentally lost or deleted data. So long story short, I found one of those that worked for me. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put a link to it in the video description if you're interested. And so I was able to recover all of that footage, and that's the footage that you've been seeing in this video and I think the 2 previous videos. And so this is me now explaining that, and I'll just end the video here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your experiences have been like on Washington's beautiful Olympic Peninsula. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.